He killed my daughter. That's what he did. He aimed the gun at her head and shot her at her head. He intentionally did that. So how does that go to involuntary manslaughter when he should be charged with first-degree murder?
Lyniah's mom and dad believe more work needs to be done on this case.
I think while he was gone for them 6 hours before he turned himself in, he went and got up with somebody and they concocted a story, got their story together, and went in there and told them people that, and they went for it. Ain't no witnesses. My baby can't speak. Intentionally pointed the gun at my child's head and pulled the trigger.
Lyniah Bell, 19, made the decision to see her lover Lafayette Hodges, 18, over the holiday season from school. Hodges appeared to be acting recklessly out of curiosity when he put a weapon to his own head and pulled the trigger. But as part of the same game, he pointed the firearm at his girlfriend, and the pistol went off, instantly killing her. This video will examine the risky repercussions of negligent weapons handling, the psychological effects on juveniles who commit deadly errors, and the significance of firearms safety education in averting such needless tragedies. We want to use this instance to demonstrate how a quick decision can have disastrous, unchangeable effects on all parties concerned. Before we begin this video, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who were severely affected by this horrible crime. We would also like to send condolences to Lyniah's family and friends. Today's case takes us to Chicago. Chicago is the largest city in Illinois, located on the southwestern shore of Lake Michigan. The city has a population of around 2.7 million residents. It is the third largest city in the United States. Famous for its skyline, Chicago is home to iconic structures like the Willis Tower, Sears Tower, and pioneering skyscrapers. The city is known for its signature style of pizza, featuring a thick crust and layered ingredients. At the age of 19, Lyniah Bell was a young woman with a bright future. The student from North Lawndale College Prep was a scholar in the esteemed Phoenix Pact program and a member of the National Honor Society. She intended to major in business and journalism at Michigan State University, where she was receiving academic scholarships. The independent teenager mentioned traveling to the east to tour the school and see if she could picture herself as a Spartan come fall. Lyniah Bell began preparing as soon as she was accepted to Michigan State University. She was eager to learn new things. She cherished the environment around it. Bell managed to balance a part-time work and kept surprising her family with her excellent grades. Bell engaged in a number of extracurricular pursuits at North Lawndale College Prep, such as theater club, hoops high, and the CAP student instructor program. She was also inducted into the National Honor Society and a Peace Warrior. Bell's mother claimed that her passion of photography made her feel like everyone's grandchild. She was a family-oriented young woman who took care of her younger brother and loved fast food, according to her father, Darius Bell. Bell loved going to Chuck E. Cheese, even though she was too old, she was allegedly recalled saying. Of the two children, Bell was the oldest. Bell was a quiet but outspoken woman with a strong sense of self-motivation. She took every course at MSU with curiosity and commitment. Lyniah Bell was seeing an 18-year-old man by the name of Lafayette Hodges while appearing to lead a busy life. Not only did Bell's parents think they were on separate paths and disapproved of their relationship, but they also opted not to continue after speaking with Bell for some time and not pressuring her to see him. Once she left for college, they thought the relationship would fall apart. Hodges attended 3 local schools in an attempt to further his education, but he had to drop out in order to support his huge family, which includes multiple small children. In addition to his numerous juvenile offenses and his 2018 felony case in which he reportedly attacked and tried to bite police officers who approached him over a parking complaint, Hodges attended multiple high schools before leaving an alternative school. He had also been charged with attempted armed robbery and unlawful use of a firearm in juvenile court. Hodges was also taken into custody in April 2019 and charged with resisting arrest and aggravated battery of a police officer. According to court documents from Cook County, he bit and struck 2 cops. He was freed after obtaining bail. He had been detained at least twice on drug-related offenses. In addition, Hodges has a juvenile record of firearms offenses, including an attempted armed robbery. After 9 months of dating, Bell was spending Christmas break in the Chicago area and was staying at Hodges' house. Bell had spent several days in Hodges' family's apartment during her winter holidays, along with 9 other relatives. Hodges claimed that a friend had given him a pistol when they returned home on Friday, December 27, 2019. Hodges played with a firearm in a bedroom, pointing it at his friend and then at himself and pulling the trigger. He aimed the weapon toward Bell, and a bullet hit her head. While Hodges was escaping the apartment with the pistol, his family contacted 911. A white blanket was put over her body by someone. It was noted by the prosecution that Hodges altered his account of events, initially asserting that he was pretending to fight Bell when the pistol went off. According to reports, the friend emptied the revolver's bullets into the bed, and Hodges grabbed what he believed to be an empty pistol, pointing it at the friend and allegedly pressing the trigger. After then, Hodges squeezed the trigger once more while holding the firearm to his own head. However, Hodges shot Bell under the nose when he leveled the rifle at her. 6 hours later, after phoning his mother and a friend, Hodges turned himself in to the police. In connection with the shooting death of Lyniah Bell, age 19, Lafayette Hodges, age 18, was charged with involuntary manslaughter. If found guilty, Hodges could serve up to 5 years in prison.
Good evening. I'm Erica Sargent. Brad has the night off. A search for answers for the family of a college honors student. Her boyfriend is accused of killing her. He says he didn't think the gun was loaded. But as CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey reports, the victim's family told her they don't believe his story.
Lafayette Hodges originally told police that he was play fighting with his girlfriend when he fatally shot her. He said it was an accident and he didn't know the gun was loaded. But the victim's family says they don't believe that story, and they say his violent history should be taken into account.
You had 6.5 hours to come up with a story, recruit a witness, get rid of a gun.
Lyniah Bell's family says the story presented in court today is too bizarre to be true. 18-year-old Lafayette Hodges cried through his mugshot photos the same way he cried through today's bond hearing, as prosecutors explained that Hodges was playing around with his girlfriend and a friend in the bedroom of his Chatham home Friday night. He told police he didn't think the gun was loaded when he pointed it at his friend and pulled the trigger. Nothing happened, and he did the same thing to his own head, and again, nothing happened. So he pointed the gun at his girlfriend's head, but when he pulled the trigger that time, it fired in her face. Her last words to him:
she said that he loved her too much to hurt her.
Him sitting in court crying, I would have cried too. Okay? He should have had tears coming out his eyes. He should have, because he took an innocent life.
Hodges was charged with involuntary manslaughter and will have to pay $5,000 to bond out. Bell's family,
it's sickening,
says that's not enough. Cook County court records obtained by the CBS 2 investigators show that at the time of the shooting, Hodges was on bond for punching and biting a pair of police officers during an arrest in April. He also has a juvenile history of weapons charges, including attempted armed robbery. Bell's family points to his public Facebook page, which shows photos of him holding a gun. Taking all of this into account, they think his punishment should be more severe.
First-degree murder. They need to look at his history, and they really need to take all this into account.
Now, even if Hodges comes up with the money, he will not be released on bond because he has another hearing tomorrow for his previous aggravated battery case. He'll be back in court on this case on January 17th. At 26th in California, Megan Hickey, CBS 2 investigators.
Bell's family didn't really know Hodges, and some didn't think well of him due to his legal issues. Hodges isn't legally permitted to own or possess a firearm due to a juvenile conviction. Prosecutors said that Hodges told the family the shooting was an accident, but Bell's family was incensed that Hodges wasn't charged with more serious offenses, like murder. The couple had no history of domestic violence, and no one inside the apartment heard any fighting. The acquaintance who allegedly saw Hodges shoot the rifle has apparently denied providing it to him. No one heard Bell and Hodges argue when they were in the bedroom together, despite reports that Bell had been unhappy over Hodges' ex-girlfriend earlier in the day. The judge ordered Hodges be held on $50,000 bond, stating his past with weapons rendered a lesser bail sum difficult. We hope that Bell's family will eventually learn the truth so they can move past this tragedy, even though they are not thrilled with the way the case was handled. We hope for them serenity. If you would like to stay updated with this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the following video.